Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to be talking about how Henrik Stenson is set to be stripped of his Ryder Cup captaincy after being linked to the LIV Golf Invitational Series. So why is this five-time Ryder Cup player practically giving up on his role, and what does it mean for his future? Well, let's get right into it. First up, what's been going on so far? Henrik Stenson, who won the title of being the 2016 Champion Golfer of the Year, was set to lead the European team in next September's edition of the biennial contest. However, he has been repeatedly linked with the Greg Norman-fronted tour. After missing the cut on Friday at the Open held in St. Andrews, the 46-year-old told reporters that his schedule for the rest of the year was still undecided. However, he is now set to commit to the breakaway circuit. Stenson was announced as Team Europe's captain back in March of 2022, with Zach Johnson to head the U.S. team in Italy next year. However, Johnson has already confirmed that any LIV golfers will not be eligible for the U.S. Ryder Cup qualification. Still, Stenson's departure doesn't seem to be confirmed yet, considering that reports have recently emerged of a last-chance meeting between DP World Tour officials and Stenson being held soon. Sky Sports' Jamie Weir had reported on the air that he has it on good authority that Ryder Cup captain Henrik Stenson could soon be announced and that it could create a very severe headache for Ryder Cup Europe altogether. They would have to scurry to find a new captain as soon as possible. James Corrigan of The Telegraph also has a lot more information on the contract Stenson signed with Ryder Cup, which had come after reports that he had been considering a whole $30 million offer from LIV Golf. Next, could Smith be the latest major winner to join? The newest champion golfer of the year, Cameron Smith, has previously faced the rumor of considering the breakaway circuit. However, the Australian golfer refused to deny the speculations about the future of his golfing career at the media conference, which followed his one-shot victory at St. Andrews. When Smith was asked about whether he would immediately join LIV Golf after his win at the Open, he replied that he found the question pretty not good, including that he felt uneasy about that since he had just won a trophy. Interview clips proved that he wasn't happy about the question at all. Smith, who is exempt in all four majors from now until 2027, had added to his comment, "I don't know, mate. My team around me worries about all that stuff," concluding his answer with, "I'm here to win golf tournaments." Well, at least Smith knows exactly what he wants. Next up, let's look at the other golfers being associated with LIV Golf. So, as it turns out, Cameron Smith isn't the only golfer being linked with a shift to LIV Golf. Other golfers, including Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki Matsuyama, Mark Leishman, and Bubba Watson have all been reported to be rethinking their future in the industry, considering joining the breakaway league. However, Tommy Fleetwood had addressed this rumor in an interview with Sky Sports News in which he had insisted the reports of his defection are not true. Now, let's talk about how LIV golf players will have very limited opportunities. So, the players who have joined the circuit have been suspended indefinitely by the PGA Tour, and the DP World Tour has issued a £100,000 fine to anyone competing in the opening event of the inaugural season. This therefore leaves very limited playing opportunities for the LIV Golf members outside the boundaries of their own events. The lack of the world ranking points that are currently being offered on the Greg Norman-fronted tour is also a cause of concern to players. Due to this, the potential eligibility of playing in any majors going forward has been jeopardized, at least for those players who are not already holding an exemption. Those individuals have begun to consider other options for their futures, as reported by Paul Casey. Next on the list, Casey's comments. After Paul Casey's final round at the Open, he mentioned that there's some talk about guys sort of playing a couple of Asian Tour events. However, Casey doesn't even know the schedule. He said that he was still questioning a lot of news about the events, wondering whether they go to play to be a bit sharper. Along with this, he mentioned that there's been a lot of discussions and WhatsApp chat group feeds that have been around, most of which he isn't a part of. He also added that the discussion might have been about the guys turning up en masse to the tournament because that would lift the world ranking points. Therefore, if they were going to go play an Asian tour, they would likely all go together for the most benefit. Lastly, what's coming up next for the LIV Golf Invitational Series? The Trump National Golf Club Bedminster plans to host the next event from July 29th to July 31st. Another tournament plans to take place in Boston from September 2nd to September 4th, the week right after the PGA Tour's season-ending Tour Championship. The Rich Harvest Farms in Chicago is the venue for the fifth event, which is taking place from September 16th to September 18th. Following this, Stonehill Golf Club in Bangkok is the venue from October 7th to October 9th. The week after that, the Royal Greens Golf Club, which was the site of the Saudi International in recent years, plans to host. Last on the list, the season-ending Team Championship plans to be held at the Trump National Doral, Miami, from October 27th to October 30th. LIV Golf then has plans to hold 10 events in its 2023 calendar just before expanding to 14 tournaments from 2024. However, the dates and locations locations for these have not yet been confirmed. Now, let's talk about some other related news. First up on the list, the Rebel LIV Tour and golf's Civil War. The very condensed nature of the men's major championship schedule has left a pretty unsatisfactory pause after the final putts have been holed at the Open. There is some reason to wonder what the professional game could or should look like by the time it returns to Augusta National next year. Mainstream tours have the power to wish away the LIV series all they want, and the R&A can attempt to divert focus onto Smith's phenomenal final round of 64. Still, the fact remains that this major was quite dominated by the discourse about the Rebel League. So what was some of the drama? Well, to start, Tiger Woods had absolutely rubbished the concept backed by Saudi Arabia. R&A's chief executive, Martin Slumbers, had also made it clear that he has little time to spare for it as well. What else? Well, there's a lot more. Greg Norman and Phil Mickelson were absent from the past Champions events due to their LIV association. Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood took their shot at the media. Sergio Garcia followed in suit towards the DP World Tour. Thomas Bjorn defended himself against claims made by Sergio Garcia, while Smith was in the middle of a trophy presentation, and Hideki Matsuyama has also been linked with a defection to LIV. Now that's enough chaos to cause some real problems. Next up, Tiger Woods talks about LIV golfers. Tiger Woods has fully outlined the extent of his opposition towards the Saudi-backed LIV Invitational Golf Series, and he had reaffirmed his commitment to the PGA Tour in a press conference ahead of the 150th Open. He openly disagreed with the players who decided to join LIV Golf and said that he thinks they've turned their back on what has allowed them to get to this position. Now, those are some pretty strong statements. Fronted by the former number one, Greg Norman, LIV Golf Series receives its funds from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, PIF, which is a sovereign wealth fund chaired by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. Bin Salman has been in some hot waters lately, considering his name was brought up in a U.S. intelligence report claiming that he was the person responsible for approving the operation which had led to the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi back in 2018. However, bin Salman has denied any involvement in Khashoggi's murder. The PIF has promised to award $250 million in total prize money. However, the source of the money has led to severe criticism aimed at the organizers and players, considering the human rights record of Saudi Arabia. Last on the list, the Crystal Sky VIP Boeing 777 private jet. After having been grounded during the shutdown of its parent Crystal Cruises, the luxury Boeing 777 Crystal Sky is finally flying high in the air again. It is now being operated for charter flights as per need for LIV Golf. Multiple websites and media had broken the news by reposting a TikTok video where golfers, their caddies, and companions were partying on the jet. The New York Post had identified one of the happy golfers as Pat Perez, who had earned $900,000 despite having finished in a tie for 29th place in the tour's most recent event, which was held at Pumpkin Ridge in Portland, Oregon. According to one of the people with knowledge of the charter agreement, LIV has booked even more flights on the huge jet. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the recent switches to LIV Golf? Are you in support of them or against them? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.